So, Rwanda versus alcohol explained. So, we have been asked a lot lately about the government crackdown on alcohol in Rwanda. Some of the questions are simple curiosities, people wondering. Others carry a note of worry, particularly from people thinking about visiting Rwanda this summer, investing in Rwanda, or moving back. Is alcohol banned? Can people still drink socially? Does this change the calculation for anyone doing the business in the country? So, this piece tries to answer those questions plainly based on recent notes from the Ministry of Health and the UK Foreign Office advisory referenced in a BBC article of November 2025. And if you're new here, my name is Ivan, and this is Rwanda Business UK. What we do, we are a UK-based company that we do have people investing in Rwanda, people thinking of, let's say, moving back, or if they want to relocate to Rwanda, we do help them with any advisory services. We do host events in London and all around the UK. So we are here to help, and we'll leave our email in the description. And we look forward to meeting you in one of our events, or if you're around in the UK, you can always come to our events and check out our website, www.rwandabusinessuk.com. So what actually happened? So in the first days of August 2026, Rwanda's Food and Drugs Authority launched one of the most aggressive regulatory actions in the country's recent history against the alcohol sector, beginning with the shutdown of 8 distilleries on 2nd of August and expanding within days to more than 130 manufacturing facilities ordered closed, their license revoked, and their products recalled nationwide. And not only that, ethanol import license was suspended. Products of over 2.6 billion Rwandan francs were seized, and close to 360 million Rwandan francs in fines were imposed. And now it's ongoing, of course, but at least 56 people were arrested as per this video. But this is ongoing. This is still going on as we releasing this. And the reason for the scale of the response was not to what some people might say online, a bureaucratic overreach. No, health officials reported that illicit and substandard alcoholic beverages had already claimed at least 50 lives in the first half of 2026. And that's not only what happened, but roughly 100 people are now partially or fully blind. And this also sent more than 500 others to health facilities with complications that were related to drinking alcohol. And investigations pointed to methanol contamination and other industrial chemicals mixed into cheap spirits marketed as gin, vodka, whiskey, and flavored local drinks. We'll explain in details, but it is worth being precise about what was targeted. So this is not just some ban on illegal breweries alone. It also reached both unlicensed backyard operations and licensed facilities that had drifted into producing toxic cocktails, sometimes substituting soap, chili, tobacco, industrial solvents for proper ingredients in the alcohol. And the action sat along earlier measures, including village level approval requirements for traditional homemade drinks, such as urwagwa and chigaje. These are local Rwandan drinks, and the wider Tunmeles campaign aimed at reducing youth alcohol abuse. You see online lots of sketches, lots of shared information about this campaign, and the aim is just to reduce alcohol consumption as general. But I was never good in chemistry, but this is worth noting that the issue is methanol, not ethanol. So let me explain. So most of the confusion comes down to two words that sound alike, but they are not. Ethanol is the alcohol found in beer, wine, and legitimate spirits. Taken in moderation, the body processes it without lasting harm. Of course, don't drink a lot. But methanol is something else entirely. It is an industrial chemical used in fuel, antifreeze, and cleaning products, and it has no place in anything meant to be drunk. Once inside the body, it breaks down into formaldehyde and formic acid, substances that attack the optic nerve and vital organs. That's why most people are going blind, because it attacks the optic nerve. And the truth of methanol poisoning is that it gives almost no warning. So, ethanol and methanol, both liquids, are clear, both smell similar, and a person cannot tell them apart by taste or sight. And by the time the symptoms appear, often a day or two after drinking a large consumption, of course, the damage may already be done. And this is why the UK Foreign Office added Rwanda to its methanol poisoning warning list in November 2025, alongside 10 other countries, following a global rise in reported case linked to tainted alcoholic drinks. And why the Foreign Office describes methanol as more harmful than the ethanol found in ordinary drinks. And the advisory was not a comment on Rwandan alcohol policy, was more of a warning about a specific supply chain problem that has surfaced in dozens of countries, from Laos to Mexico to Kenya, wherever counterfeit spirits find cheap enough markets, of course. And I'll make sure I attach a link to this article in the description. So, the question is this: is alcohol banned in Rwanda? The answer is no. The ones properly licensed, tested, and sold through regulated channels remain entirely legal. Bars, breweries, and licensed distilleries continue to operate. What has been removed from shelves is a narrower modern risk category: unlicensed, substandards, and also products which contain methanol, those not accepted, and along with the facilities and import channels that were feeding them into the market. So, public health authorities are simply asking people to be sensible about where a drink comes from. Verified, sealed, commercially related products carry none of the risk that unsealed or homemade spirits from known sources. So that is not a departure from how safety works anywhere else in the world, here in the UK, but this is just a normal thing that health bodies do. So what does this mean for investment? Anyone asking whether this crackdown signals instability has the direction of the story backwards. A government that moves quickly and visibly against a public health threat rather than allowing it to fester until foreign media pick it up is demonstrating regulatory capacity, not its absence. Rwanda's actions go well against the criteria used to judge this intervention worldwide. A rapid withdrawal of dangerous products from the market, controlling a key input through ethanol licensing, coordinated enforcement across agencies, and public communication that addresses why people reach for cheap illicit alcohol in the first place. That is normal. And these are challenges that may be ahead if you're thinking to invest in Rwanda. Rwanda has 100 companies that are working in this sector. So it's important for you to make sure that you ask bodies like us, Rwanda Business UK, the formalization process that you should follow when investing in Rwanda or when you're starting there. Because in the coming months, they may add more processes, they may add also other guidelines, but that's all you need to do as a business. And for everyone else, the practical answer is the one that the public health officials have been given from the start. Buy sealed, licensed, commercially produced drinks. Avoid the cheap and market bottles that offer the discount. And as you can tell, the problem is not just the alcohol with this crackdown, but it's what people are putting inside those bottles. And that's it. I hope I've been able to clear this one. And you can read more detailed notes on this in our newsletter on Substack, which is under Rwanda Business UK. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.